7 o'clock, so we'll call the meeting to order. First order of business is adoption of the agenda that you've all got. So if I could have a motion to adopt the agenda as presented.
I'll make that.
Please.
I'll second.
Alan, second. Any discussion? Okay, all in favor? Carried. We have no petitions or delegations this evening, so we'll move into approval of minutes. The first one is the minutes of the April 18th regular board meeting. If I could have a motion to adopt these minutes as circulated. I'll make that motion. Aaron, seconder. Please. Any discussion? The only comment that I would like to make is that in the April meeting that we approved the conflict of interest policy. However, we had already approved it in our March meeting, so we double approved it. So the March date is the one that stands, and if that's the only error we make in the course of this term, then we'll be doing well. So, all in favor? Okay. The next set of minutes that you have are the minutes for the annual general meeting. And we're changing it from the copy that you have that says special to annual. We're not approving these tonight. We're simply accepting these tonight, because they have to be sent off to the Inspector of Municipalities, and they don't actually get approved until next AGM. So if I could have a motion to accept them. Alan?
I'll second.
Okay, Bruce? Any discussion? Okay, all in favor? Carried. Then we have the inaugural board meeting that we had on April the 25th. And again, we're changing it from regular to inaugural. The motion to approve those as circulated.
I'll do that.
Okay, Cleve? I'll second. And second. Okay. Any discussion? Okay, carried. And the final one is May the 4th, which is a special board meeting, which was the meeting where we approved the water asset supply transfer agreement. I'll have a motion to approve those minutes.
Yeah, I'll make that motion.
Okay, Bruce, seconder.
Yes.
Alan. Any discussion? Okay, all in favor? Carried. Okay. We have two items of business that are old business from last month. We tabled two policies, and they are the confidentiality policy and the personal information privacy policy. So we'll deal with the confidentiality policy first. I could have a motion to approve this policy as circulated.
I'll make that motion.
Seconded. Any discussion?
We've discussed it.
We've discussed it a lot. Okay, all in favor? Carried. And the next one is personal information privacy policy. And again, a motion to accept as circulated.
I'll make that motion.
Alan?
I'll second.
Please seconds. Any discussion? Okay, all in favor?
Okay.
Moving right along here. The next item of business is correspondence, and we have an anonymous letter that was dropped off in the mail slot, and it's regarding the bus shelter that was out in the front of the UBID building that blew away a few weeks ago. We had a discussion as a board about how we should handle anonymous letters. And generally, it's the feeling of the board that as a practice, we should not respond to anonymous letters. However, because this is a community kind of interest issue, we thought that we would give some information on it. Essentially, UBIT is not interested in rebuilding the bus shelter. It was previously built by the volunteer fire department. And it's not within our mandate or responsibility. It is, however, within the responsibility of the Comox Valley Regional District Transit Department, and this matter has been referred to them. So where that goes from here, we're not sure. The only other thing that I'd like to say is that if the anonymous person would like more information, they can certainly give me a call. Then we're into reports. So, Ruth, do you want to do both of yours together?
Yes.
As usual.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight some of the items that you'll see in your monthly financial statement for the end of April. And I'm going to talk mostly about revenues because we had a discussion at the Finance Committee this month about how to report revenues. Revenues are generally recognized when invoiced, and while we have recognized approximately $350,000 of our revenues to date for this year, it's important to remember that revenues are not equivalent to cash. In the revenue section, all of our 2012 revenues have been billed for the year except for our 4 bi-monthly water toll billings and the portion of the property taxes which we received from the province each July. The not yet billed water tolls we have budgeted to be approximately $126,000, and the balance of property taxes not yet received is $306,000. So a little more than half of our annual revenues have not yet been recognized, and they don't appear yet on our income statement. Of the $350,000 of revenues that have been recognized to date, of parcel tax receivables, some of that isn't due until September. So $73,000 of recognized revenue for parcel tax remains not yet paid. Of the water tolls billed to the end of April, we had unpaid tolls of approximately $7,000. Basically, the revenues that have been both recognized and received in the first 4 months of the year amount to about $270,000. And that consists of $100,000 of property tax, $111,000 of parcel tax, and $53,000 in water tolls, and approximately $6,000 in rent, interest, and street lighting cost share. So we have revenues recognized, revenues not yet recognized, and in some cases we have not yet received revenues. So there's 3 different things to keep in mind on the revenue side. On the expenditure side, we are at or below where we expected to be at this point in the year in most areas. There's one area where we are already over budget, and that is in public works vehicle repair and maintenance. We've spent $4,500 there this year already when we only budgeted $4,000 for the whole year. And there is an explanation for this. It was apparent at the end of last year that the second public works truck, its motor was shot and it wasn't really usable anymore. It was blowing blue smoke. So the board had approved last year up to $15,000 for a replacement good quality second-hand vehicle. However, we discussed it internally and determined that for what we need in a second public works vehicle, we could probably simply repair the motor and continue to use the truck for an additional few years. We decided that rather than replacing the truck, we would repair it, costing just over $3,000 when it was done. And I'm happy to report that it no longer blows blue smoke as it's driven down the road. And finally, now that we're through the busiest time of the year for reporting purposes, and I include in reporting purposes, I include audit, AGM, elections, and annual reports to the Ministry of Community. I believe we're going to have time to address other issues such as finding a consulting engineering firm, preparing our water consumption modeling spreadsheets, and collecting outstanding receivables arrears. That's the report.
Any questions on this? I have a question about the cost for the truck, for the motor. Would that normally be charged to renewal and replacement? Like, would it come out of that capital side rather than the operating side?
I don't believe so in this case because the truck in this case is quite old and it's probably, my guess is it's already been fully depreciated or it's close to being fully depreciated. And simply by putting in a new motor, there wouldn't be much to capitalize. There may be a small portion of it that could be capitalized. But it's probably more of an
that would
operational.
account for being over budget in
Yes,
public works,
that's right.
Because
Yep.
we approved it to come out of renewal.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other questions for Ruth about her report? Okay, can I have a motion to accept her report for information?
I'll make that motion.
Anne? Second. Bruce. All in favor? Okay, carried. Fire rescue report. I have a brief report. There was no fire rescue committee meeting in May as the committee is in the process of being reformed. The fire chief reported that the department responded to 7 incidents up until May 1st. They include 5 first responder situations, 1 chimney fire, and 1 public assist call. There is currently no ban on open fires in the coastal fire area. However, we just got the notice that as of Friday,
Yes.
there will be. So, because some of the regulations around fires when there is a fire ban are new, we're going to put those regulations on our website so that people can look at that. A number of training programs were attended by our fire department in April. They include 7 members attended a hazardous materials awareness course. 1 attended a START course, and this course trains members in self-rescue from burning structures. 4 members have completed their first responder recertification course. 3 members participated in a pumps and pumping course. And 4 members will be taking a transition course from first responder to OFA level 3. Can you tell me what OFA means, Susan? Do you know?
Yes, it's occupational first aid.
Oh, okay.
And it's actually been done.
Oh,
and they
okay.
all passed.
And that concludes my report. So if I can have a motion to accept it for information.
Yeah. I'll second it.
Bruce second. Any questions?
Does the band kick in on Friday morning or 12 o'clock Friday night?
I don't know.
I don't remember if they put a time on it. I'm assuming it's
Probably midnight.
midnight of the
That
of
day.
Thursday. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it extends until September 15th, unless they give us notice otherwise.
So all in favor? Okay, Public Works report, please.
Okay. Public Works report's going to be pretty short and sweet. The good thing is that there's no problems to report on. The stability's getting better in our lake there now, and we're running in at 1.86 and out at 1.9. Our water consumption is down again at 536 cubic meters a day. All tests have come back negative for chloroform, and the comprehensive water test was taken on March 23rd, and there's 3 pages of results for that. And the lake is still holding at 1 inch over the spillway height. So the inflow from the culverts and runoff is just virtually nothing now, so I guess we're going to assume that that's coming from our aquifers. That says the existing strainer is worn out on the flange cup in the control room, and new bolts and washers are being used on the bolts that won't seal. And he got 2 quotes there, and they vary so widely. One's for 2,500 and others for 650. But he says it's working fine and it will remain until the new plant is built. So I guess it's not exactly urgent. Of his to-do list that he gave us last year, yeah, this was last year, they've done all of them except 2 minor jobs which are not urgent at all. So everything's running pretty well there. Just one interesting thing on the water testing, every category was below VHAR levels, and our NTU, which is the turbidity, the colour of the water, never quite hit 3, and the regulation is 5 maximum. So even at the worst of the rain, we were well below that. So we've got nothing really no problems there at the moment. Oh, one leak in our Kilmarnock area as usual. So hopefully it will stay like that for the rest of the year. And that concludes the report.
Any questions for Louise?
Is that leak at Kilmarnock the same house?
No,
I think it was on the homeowner side, because they had to dig up a driveway to get to it.
it wasn't the same house.
With a failure of asbestos being tapped into the...
What's that?
It's the fitting tapped into the asbestos probably, rather than the saddle being put on.
Is it? Well, he said there was a line, supply line to the house at Gateway.
Yeah, it's probably where they put it into the asbestos.
Well, they put saddles in originally.
Put saddles in.
So that's our cost then?
If it's on our side of the border, yeah.
Developers gone. We went a long time ago.
That landowner approached me about a leak down on Garvin. Did you get that?
They're going tomorrow to look at it, or to deal with it. I guess this is the time of year when the rains stop, you become aware of the leaks that are out there. So we're getting a number of reports about leaks right now. The first Kilmarnock, now Garvin Road.
Make that motion.
I'll second.
All in favor? Carried. Finance and capital planning.
I have no report this month for that.
Okay. And Alan, we've created a new reporting kind of center because of the Kensington approval and hopefully the building of a water treatment plant. So Alan can report on the water filtration project.
Yeah. I had a brief discussion with Brian on the 10th of May.
Can you use the microphone, please?
Sure.
Thank you. Sorry.
Okay. Had a brief discussion with Brian on the 10th of May regarding the Phase 1 water filtration plant and the following points that we've discussed. He has an application with the Ministry of Environment BC for a sewage treatment plant, which he expects an answer within 90 days. This is the sewage treatment plant to go up the hill. The potable water treatment plant, the sewage, will be installed in a similar time frame. I believe it's the same contractor doing both plants, so there's some value to that. He said to me that he anticipates to have the water filtration system by the year end, in this year. And drawings for the plant and the building will be forward in the near future. No definite date was given at that point because it was just a phone discussion. Brian confirmed he will be communicating closely with us as the situation unfolds. This concludes the report discussions.
Any questions for Alan? Okay. A motion to accept Alan's report for information.
Okay.
Cody?
I'll second it.
Yes. All in favor? Carried. Thank you. Okay, so new business. During the annual general meeting, the landowners approved a motion to keep the board honorarium at $5,000 per year, and that the board itself would decide how that money would get divided up. So at our inaugural meeting, we did talk about some options, and we'll get Bruce to put forward a motion.
Yeah, I'll make a motion that each committee chair and the board liaison receive $50 per month, and in addition, each trustee will receive $25 for each board meeting that they attend, and that should take care of the honoraria for the year.
Can I have a seconder? Please.
Pass that to me.
Any discussion?
Only that we're overpaid, that's all.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Carried. Yes.
No pay raise for the last 3 years. I think we have to talk to our union.
I think so. Then we have a number of items to deal with regarding the standing board committees. At the AGM, all of the committees that were established last year ended, and the board makes decisions then about what kinds of committees it needs for the coming year, and we need to reappoint people. So this year, we have decided that we do not need a bylaw, policy, and procedure committee, because last year that committee focused primarily on governance kinds of issues. This year, the priority is on finance, so it makes sense that the finance committee would be involved in dealing with any policy issues regarding that. Similarly, if there are fire department policies, then the fire committee would deal with that. So we didn't see a need. And like I said earlier, we created a new position for the water filtration project. So we have 3 committees to deal with, and we have some revisions to the terms of reference and some appointments of community representatives. So, do you want to go first, please?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
I just want to make a motion that our 3 existing volunteer members, Bill Ellis, Tom Derenitsky, and Gina McGrady, have all agreed to serve for another term, so I just ask the board to accept them.
You have a seconder?
Second that.
Bruce? So that leaves 1 vacancy.
It leaves 1 vacancy, but if somebody comes along and puts their name forward, we'll consider that. Bob Leary had to withdraw his commitment because of work commitments. He's working away a lot. He just can't make the meetings. So.
All in favor? Carried. Okay. We also need to approve the revised terms of reference for your committee.
I move that we accept the revised reference, what is it?
Terms of reference.
Terms of reference that we put out for the Public Works Committee.
Seconded. Alan?
I have no problems with them.
Okay, the only change that we made was regarding the number of meetings. The previous terms of reference said that the committees were required to have a meeting every month. And over the course of last year, we discovered that there are some months when there is no business, so there's no point in having a meeting, and it just gives the committees a bit more flexibility around meeting times. So, all in favor? Carried. Okay, the Fire Standing Committee, and I'll make a motion to appoint Dennis Hayner, Harry Olson, Jim Sigurdson, and John Whitman to be on the Fire Committee this year. So that fills all 4 positions. So all in favor? Carried. Okay. Do you want to make a motion to approve the terms of reference?
Okay. I'll make a motion to approve the terms of reference, the new terms of reference for the Fire Standing Committee. And we've made changes as far as the minutes, the number of meetings per month, per year. We made that change already.
Second. Bruce?
Second.
Okay. Any discussion? Okay. All in favor? Carried. Okay. Finance and capital planning. Bruce?
Yeah, I'd like to make a motion to appoint Pam Mountain and Pam Ramsey to the Finance Committee. The 4 positions. I'm not clear yet whether Gordon Hood is going to serve another 3 years or not. I'll be talking to Gordon. We had 1 vacancy last year, and I would prefer to leave 1 vacancy right now. So I'd like to make that motion to appoint Pam Mountain and Pam Ramsey to the Finance Committee.
Seconder?
I'll second it.
Please. All in
And,
favor? Go ahead.
No, I was going to make the other motion.
Oh, okay.
We're not finished yet.
Oh, okay. All in favor? Okay. Now you get to...
And I'd like to make a motion to approve the terms of reference. Once again, the main change on the terms of reference was just the number of meetings from monthly to 4 per year, same as the other commitments. So I'd like to make that motion to approve the terms of reference for the UBID Finance and Capital Planning Standing Committee.
Seconder. And all in favor? Okay, thank you. Okay. The last item that we have under new business relates to the financial reporting for the board. For the last year, as Ruth has been trying to get the books in order and get financial reports the way we want them, we've had many discussions about what those reports should look like, how often we should get them, and what the board needs. And I think we have a motion.
Yes, I have a motion, propose a motion, and this motion would be to, with regard to the financial reports, the administrator will provide each trustee with the financial reports prepared for the month and provide an overview of the month's report at the same time as they are provided to the committee. The Standing Finance Committee review reports prior to the board meeting, and the chair of the Finance Committee reports to the board each month on any significant variances, anomalies, or concerns. The board is provided with the following regular reports: the consolidated comparative income statement each month, the departmental 4 comparative income statements each quarterly, March, June, September, and December, and a balance sheet including capital reserves semi-annually. That would be in June and December. And those are the way we'd like to handle the financial reports for the balance of the year.
Seconder? Please. Any discussion? Can you talk a little bit about why we've done what we've done?
Sure. Well, one thing, the Finance Committee is only here to make recommendations to the board. And we've hired an administrator to prepare our financial records and our financial documents. And how she sees fit as to how she does those is basically her business. And as a committee, we're not there to tell her how to do her job. And we are there to check those records for anomalies, mistakes, and that sort of thing. So I believe that we have a system in place that gives us the opportunity check those reports, and as committee chair, I'm satisfied with the methods that we're using to accomplish that. Any other comments?
What was the cost factor?
Well, there's a cost factor in making more changes too. You know, we could have a state-of-the-art financial system, but we don't have the capacity, we don't have the staff to produce those kind of records. What we're producing satisfies the current board, it satisfies the auditor, and I believe that's all that's necessary.
I think what we were trying to do too was to balance the amount of time that Ruth spends producing reports versus the value out of those reports and the requirement for the board to kind of monitor things. So, any other comments? Okay, all in favor? Okay. So that concludes the business part of the meeting. Are there any questions? Susan?
Of course. You've reviewed your terms of reference for all your committees, and you've now said that you won't be having them monthly. But until you did that, they were assumed that they were being held monthly. In the last month, when you arrived, there was nobody here, no notice on the board or anything to say that the meeting had been canceled. So how do you plan on making it aware to the public that the meeting will be held, and what time and place and date?
Well, we'll put notices on the website as we did last year when there are meetings. The process for standing committees is that as of the AGM, they no longer exist and are dissolved, and the appointments and the terms of reference are only for the year. So some of that was a misunderstanding in terms of the fact that assuming that it was just going to continue on as it had before, when that's not how standing committees work. So I don't know what more to say about that. I think it was a confusion.
But in future, it'll be on the website?
The dates will be on the website.
I have a second question. In the landowner, you put out that there was going to be a town hall meeting, and I understand, I was at the AGM, I wasn't there for the whole thing, but I was there for this part, and a motion was put on the floor to have a town hall meeting, and it was voted down by the community that was there. So why are we going ahead with the town hall meeting?
The town hall meeting was not what was defeated at the AGM. What was defeated was the board presenting to the community all of the background information regarding the water asset transfer issue, and the community taking a vote on that before the board finalized that agreement. That's what was defeated. After that, we did a straw poll kind of vote on who would be interested in having an informal discussion to be able to ask questions about those two agreements. And that's what the town hall meeting is about.
But there wasn't a significant number of hands that went up for that.
No, there were only about 10 or 12 people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what will this cost the community?
Nothing, other than trustee time.
Trustee time.
Oh, well, you get paid $25 a shot.
No, we won't pay. We won't be paid for this one. This is a
You
freebie.
can have a piece of the volunteer cake.
Okay, fine.
Yeah. Yeah. So the intent of the town hall meeting is to give people an opportunity to ask questions about the agreements. Both agreements are signed and, what do you call it, legitimate agreements.